The moon is so fascinating tonight. Do you want to join me on my midnight walk? That's okay. Let's proceed then to our episode. Now, just sit back, relax, and enjoy. And don't forget to support my channel. Nicolette was born in France to a very wealthy family and had a little brother named Francis. Their parents were caring, kind, and hardworking to make sure their children had everything they wanted. They were very busy most of the time with work, and their children were left alone at home. Nicolette was 5 years older than Francis and old enough to stay home watching her little brother. She missed out on school, football games, and spending time with friends because of her parents' busy work schedule and having to stay home all the time. She wasn't sad about that because her baby brother was everything to her and her best friend. She was the best big sister, according to Francis, and to her, he was the best little brother. They played video games together, hide and seek, outdoor activities with the neighborhood children. Francis looked up to his older sister, who taught him so much and helped him with everything, including schoolwork, and comforted him when he was sad. When Nicolette got older and started to date, Francis made Nicolette laugh by interrogating her dates when they came to pick her up. They were inseparable even as they got older, and still did so many things together and shared so many moments with each other. One night, on a trip to their family cottage, their vehicle was hit by a tractor trailer, killing Nicolette and Francis instantly, who were in the back seat. At that time, they were only 17 and 12. These two are still here playing, laughing, and caring for each other in their childhood matching dolls. Most of the time, I hear running footsteps all over my house in the middle of the night, or furnitures being moved. Sometimes I wake up to see two silhouettes near my bedside table. But once I open the lights, no one is there. I just hope that they are harmless. Legend follows that because dolls are humanoid in form, sometimes spirits inhabit a doll when they're roaming this planet because they don't know where to go, and dolls look familiar to them. They are most likely to inhabit a doll that they used to own. Just as a ghost can haunt a house, building, or ship, it can hang around an item it once owned that reminds them of something in their past. Spirits like to hang around dolls and other toys because of their familiarity and strong emotional connection. Ever since moving to Vermont a few years ago and settling in Waterbury, I have been fascinated by the Vermont State Hospital for the Insane, built in 1890. The creepy building still stands today, but is no longer used as a hospital since a hurricane flooded it. Originally built for the care, custody, and treatment of insane criminals of the state, the Waterbury State Hospital eventually became the shelter for Vermont's growing number of acutely disturbed female patients. By today's standards, treatment of patients at this facility was primitive, at times barbaric. Women in the asylum were tied to wooden benches with camisoles, which secured their arms at their back. Hydrotherapy was also practiced, where patients were immersed in continuous baths or placed in wet sheet packs for extended periods of time, and colonic irrigation was a standard treatment for patients. Eventually, electroshock therapy and drug therapy replaced these treatments. Lobotomies were also performed there. The more local people I talked to, the more horrific history I learn. I also hear of so many sad stories. Many of the women who were committed to this Vermont mental hospital had dolls, and whereas most belongings were cremated upon their death, there was a set of nurses in the area who saved many of these dolls by taking them home, believing that the spirits of their patients lived on in them. This doll belonged to a young girl patient named Gretchen. She suffered from the delusion that she was about to die of pneumonia, as she had apparently witnessed her mother die when she was 5 years old. She was a strong, healthy woman and hadn't had a sign of illness on her. But every few days, she would insist on going to bed, where she prepared to die of pneumonia. Soon after, the cause of Gretchen's insanity was listed as dementia. One day, she hung herself in a closet with a leather strap. Her doll was found on the closet floor with her neck cracked. Since bringing Gretchen's doll home, I have felt unexplained cold drafts in my house and woken up to chilling sound of a woman with deep breaths. I strongly feel the disturbed spirit of Gretchen lives on this doll. Sometimes I also hear creaking sounds in my closet, but whenever I open the closet door, the creaking sound will always stop. Emma was an attorney's daughter who was a local star and beauty queen. She was one of those kids that every parent dreams of having. She was funny, smart, sweet, and so pretty. Emma seemed to conquer everything she tried. She was homecoming queen and won the county beauty contest as well. She was rehearsing for the state competition when she began to complain of fatigue. She felt uncharacteristically tired and just couldn't shake it. Several doctors' visits later, to her family's horror, she was diagnosed with leukemia. After undergoing every available treatment, she died only 2 years later. Her death was shocking and heartbreaking. She was such a healthy, active, beautiful girl. Her parents were so confounded that she had succumbed to the disease. Her dad sued the doctor. The case was dismissed. But it was the catalyst for her parents to leave the town. Her spirit is so strong in this vessel, and most of the time I hear soft hummings There are also times that she will switch the channels whenever I'm watching. That is okay. I just don't want to see her ghost in the middle of the night. Many died to tuberculosis during the 1900s, and hospitals were jam-packed at that time. This is a story of a girl named Molly who died when she was just 7 years old. She was born in a poor family, and her parents could barely afford to put food on the table. She had no friends and did not go to school due to her family's financial status. On her 6th birthday, her parents gave her this doll since they promised that they will give her something nice. She loved her doll and brought it anywhere she'd go. But their town had a tuberculosis outbreak, and she was one of the unlucky people who caught it. After a few months, in the year 1971, she died in bed, hugging this doll. I have been awoken many times to a hard coughing and sometimes crying. There are also instances that I will found the doll in odd places, like on top of the cabinet, or I will found it sitting on my bedroom window. I hope you enjoyed our episode today, and let me know what you think on the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Remember, be afraid of the dark. He is always watching.